welcome to this challenge review. Let's go ahead and get our shields working. So the first thing I'm going to do is we are going to hop into our sprites folder, and we're going to go ahead and look at the prefab the prefab that we're going to make out of our shield. So here we have, let's see, power-ups and shield. So let's drag that in. We'll go ahead and set that to be whatever size the others are, which I think is 0.3. Okay, let's go ahead and move that over to here. Alrighty, so let's rename this to shields. And I believe, let's see, it needs a box collider. I'm sorry, it needs a circle collider 2D. Let's go ahead and zoom in on it. We'll edit the colliders for it. Move it up a bit on the Y, and I think that's pretty good right there. So here we have our shields power up. So here's our shields power up. And let's see, is everything else okay? They have a power up script, a circle collider. Okay, let's add our power up script, add component, power up script. And the power up ID for this guy is 2. So for the shield, we're going to pass in a 2. And based on that number, that's how we know to give the player the 2. Or I'm sorry, the shield. Alrighty, so our shield is set up. Let's turn it into a prefab so we can spawn it in later. Okay, we got our shields power up. Now it's already collectible. Now we need to enable the ability to award it to the player. So here, we're going to go ahead and say public bool shields active equals false. Shields active is false. And what I want to do here is, for this one, to keep it consistent, we'll create a method that enables it. So here we'll go ahead and say public void, we'll say enable shields. And all we're going to do is we're going to say shields active equals true. Alright, so let's go ahead and call this method now from our power up. So when we enable our shields, we're going to be calling player.enableShields. And there we go. That will give our player our shields. The next step is to go ahead and make it so we can't get damaged. So here's where we subtract 1 life from the player. Before I do that, we need to check if player has shields, then what do? Do nothing. So we're going to talk about how we can do nothing. So check this out. We have our if statement. If shields active equals true, then what do we want to do? First thing first, shields active is no longer true. So we turn the shields off because that was your free hit. And now we need to stop the program. I don't want to continue on with the damage function. So to say basically stop doing what you're doing, we can use the return function, which basically says return the method back to the top. So shields active is true, we turn off the shields, and then we stop the program here. The return method is basically stopping the program. So that's going to allow it so that on the next time around, when we get damaged, our shields active is false, meaning it's going to skip this if statement, and it's going to continue on as normal. So let's go ahead and test this out. I will set my lives to 1, and I will collect this shields power up. So right now, as you can see here, shields active is true in the inspector. And I'm going to go ahead and run into the ship. And I did not die. He died. And you'll notice shields active is now false. And unfortunately, I don't have another enemy in here. Hold on, actually. Let me add an enemy real quickly. Let's get one in there. Okay. Now check this out. Now when I die, and there you go. So our shields is working. All of our behaviors are working. Everything looks pretty solid and correct. Alrighty, so pretty simple. The next thing we're going to do in the next video, guys, is we're going to create the animation and display our shields when they're enabled. So we're going to turn on a renderer and add a visual component to our player. I'll see you in the next video.